I'll show here how I secure a server so that it's relatively secure. This is one of the things that a lot of these cloud providers will tell you, like you need to use their solution because, well, it's easy, it's simple, it's web scalable. Well, usually it's not so easy, it's not so it's scalable, but it's very expensive, and setting up your security yourself is actually not so hard. So I'll go through here how you can kind of just make a black box that only responds to what you want it to respond to. So let's get through this thing here.
Sorry to interrupt you. The audio is absolutely horseshit. I was really considering if I should deploy this one here or not, but I decided to release the video anyways, because I think you will still gain a lot of valuable insight from it. My editor Kosta have tried to improve the sound as much as he could, and I'll make sure this not happens again. So I hope you like the video, and I'll see you around. Cheers.
I'm doing a little bit different here. Normally I have a script and I'm a little bit more organized, but I thought today let me just show you how I'm gonna do it. And I haven't done it for I haven't actually secured a server, like a new server, for a very long time. So I'm probably gonna have a lot of mistakes here, but you can go through here and you can see here how it is. So let's go through here. We have this service here that I just set up, and it's called Videofeedbackr. It's an alternative to Loom that just makes it possible for you to record your screen. You just click here, you can start recording your screen, and that's basically it. It's very, very simple and nice, but it's not secure right now. It's basically an open box, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set something called knockd on, and I'm gonna do it all without a script, but I did make a blog article here about it. So I'll link to that in the description below so you can see how to do this here. And I also have a video on why you would want to why you want to just maybe host things yourself, because it frankly is just a lot simpler and easier and cheaper once you get a hang of it. You never know when the service provider that you rely on is going to change their agreement or do something like that. So let's get through it. What is knockd in the first place? Well, if you have your server here, what knockd is going to do is it's going to do... I don't know why it's always doing this here. I think it's something with Brave. Like, why this site cannot be reached, and then you just do it again, and then it's reached. For some reason. Anyways, you have your server here, right? And the thing is, the attack surface is what can attack around it here. So normally you have Nginx or Caddy or something like that. Nginx, Caddy, or if you're old school Apache in front of here, that is just basically the only thing that's connecting it to the outside. But there's still a lot of things that might be open here. You might install some services that shouldn't really be open. And you might install some tools, or like Ubuntu or Fedora or whatever you're using might have something that's open that shouldn't be open. Or it might not have anything that's open, but if you send something, it might trigger some exploit that we don't know about, that NSA know about, that that someone can get access to your computer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just make like a complete shell around this here. Like, wow, this is so beautiful here. And we're gonna just open port 80 and port 443. So these are the only ports that are going to be open, port 80 and 443. Now, how are you going to get access to that? Normally you do that using SSH. But what we're going to do here is we're going to take SSH and we're going to say, hey, this open only when we want it to open. This way, nobody can really go and log in on your port 22. And usually there's like a lot of botnets that will try to connect and log in on your port 22. So if your port 22 is open, you'll most likely every day get thousands of requests on port 22 about trying to connect to it. And it just keeps increasing. It's like super botnets that are just doing that. So what we want to do is just remove that option for them. And maybe you have set up everything properly, like with SSH, and it's not really a problem, but still there might be an exploit in SSH later that you find out about. Or it might be the case that let's say that you haven't set it up completely 100% properly. Like what you need to do with SSH is disable password authentication only using SSH keys, and all of these things. And it's something where you can very easily make a mistake. And I'm probably like done a lot of mistakes there. So I'm gonna just connect to my server here. I have like shell scripts here. I'm really old school with this here. I tried all of the fancy stuff and I ended up just coming here. So now I'm on the server, and what I'm gonna install is this nuckd here. And so I'm basically gonna copy paste this one here, and this is the IP tables. So this basically blocks everything here except port 80 and 443. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna just put like a normal file here called IP tables. We're gonna pop that in here, and what you can see here is we don't allow for anything here. Basically, I can connect to the server once I have run this here, and it's very easy to make a mistake and lock yourself out of the server. So you have to be really careful what you're doing. The thing with IP tables is that when you restart the server, they don't restart as well as default. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in cron job and just reboot here. There's ways to do it other ways, but cron job is just so simple. I'm really a sucker of things that are simple. If you have more ports that needs to be open, so maybe you have some kind of other services, you might need to do that. So you can see here, I'm gonna install nuckd, boom, boom, boom. And afterwards, I'm gonna install this one here. And what this here is doing is that it's making that it's kind of like a secret knock on your server. If it succeeds with this knock, then it's gonna open something for you, like abracadabra. And you can see here the sequence is 4,000, 5,000, 4,000, 6,000, 3,000. So these are the ports you have to hit within the sequence timeout here. And if you hit those in that sequence, what ends up happening is that it runs this command, and then after some kind of time, it stops and it just does this thing here. So what I have done here is I have made a nuckd configuration that opens for the IP, the source IP. It opens port 22. And this is very complicated, like things here. You can just copy paste this here. That's what I normally do. The only thing I would like you to mention is like this is kind of the password to log in. So it would be very good if you change this as well. But you have to remember it. And it has to be whatever it is for your server. So let's just go here. Okay, boom. We're gonna copy paste this one here, and later I'm gonna change this here so that we have things here up and running. Okay. So what we're gonna do here, nuckd, we're gonna put this one here in, we're gonna remove this thing here, and we're gonna just keep it like this here because I don't want to show you my secret for this here. I always change this. And then we're gonna see here if it's running. And you can see here it's active, but it's dead. So it's not running. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that it's running. And what you do here is like this one here. And of course, if you're using Fedora or some other one here, then you would want to change this here. Throw, and let's say enable nuckd. So that's gonna enable it and also make sure that it restarts. Now I do this here on the production server. The reason why is we don't have any users right now. Well, we have a few, but if it's down, it's okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reboot and make sure that the nuckd service is up and running. And this is very important, but this is gonna of course have downtime. The people that are using this system is just my friends and people I know that I just wanted to test this with here. So they're okay with this being a little bit down. We are not in the production right now. So we restarted the server. Boom. Let's try to connect to it again. Boom. And it's gonna take a little while because it's like there. Oh wow, that was fast. So you can see here nuckd status. It is up and running. All right, so that means that you see here I SSH connected to this here, and I can connect to it without any problems, right? And what I want to do is now I want to start playing around and making sure that what I'm doing is actually working. So I can start the IP tables here, and now if I open a new, all right, looks like I can connect here. So let's just see here if I actually manage to get it up and running here. So you can see here, I do this here, and then let's see here if I can actually connect to it now. Yeah, so I was able to connect to it after I ran this one here, but not before. So that's a very important consideration. And anyways, I was able to connect. So, and it seems like this here disconnected it automatically. Normally this is not really oh, it didn't disconnect here. So I'm able to connect now, but if I didn't run this thing here with NocD, it's probably not working. But I'm gonna reboot again just to make sure, and then we're gonna see here what's gonna happen. So now I shouldn't be able to connect at all, but it shouldn't give me like this here. Boom, boom, boom.
One eternity later.
So it took a little while here, so I had my editor cut this out here. But what you can see here is that it just took a long time to connect to the server, but now I can connect again. Right, so what I would like to see is that the IP tables block the connection. And then I would like to see that I can knock on the door, so to say, with my secret hand shake, and it would work, and I can then later do a SSH, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna enable IP tables here, and so you can see here they're enabled. I still have access to this one here, so that's nice. So you should not close this down here. What I will go is I will go into a different terminal here, and I will try to connect here, and it should fail. Oh, let's see here. And you can see it's not even responding. So it's basically failing. And this is the beauty of it. It just looks like there's just nothing there. There's not even anything like saying, hey, like, please don't contact me or error with password or anything like that. You just can't connect to it, right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna find the NocD here, there. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna cast this in here, I'm gonna put my IP here. And obviously, this is the sequence here that you need to change. Now, I would like to say that you should change this here, and you have to also just see that here there's spaces in between the sequence, and in the configuration file, there's commas. This is a thing that I spent a lot of time figuring out why is this not working. So basically, I have now here this here, and let's just for good order here see that I cannot connect to the server. It's like completely non-responding. But if I go here and I do this here, now I can connect. Hopefully. See. So now everything is set up, and I'm sure that I can connect here. Now you should still have using your service provider have a different way to get in. So for example, here I'm using Hetzner, and we can use Hetzner. There's like an interface where you can get like access to it if you set the password. So you should set that up. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna set a cron tab here, and then I'm gonna on reboot. I'm gonna put in here, and I'm gonna put IP tables.sh, and this is gonna open. It's gonna set the IP tables for this here, and I'm gonna just check here. Yeah, this is the same one here. So now when I reboot, I can be able to only access the server if I have the secret knock, right? What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna change the knock. I'm not actually gonna do this here, but like I'm gonna do here after this here. I'm gonna just remove this here because I don't want this to happen, and then I'm gonna put in a new secret knock that I use, and then I'm gonna try to restart the server and see everything here is working. So this is basically how you can make sure that your server is more or less secure. It will take care of a lot of the things, and you don't really have to worry about that many other things, because the only attack surface there is your reverse HTTP engine. So this might be Nginx, Apache, or Caddy. So you have to make sure they are up to date, and that's the only attack surface that's there. And then maybe your application server, if there's something that can leak through and attack that. But it drastically removes the whole thing. Like, it's just kind of like a black box. There's just port 80 and for free open for websites. It's very, very simple. And you can see here, this hasn't taken that much time, like 15 minutes, and we're already ready with a solution here. So yeah, just make sure to capture and do this. I'm gonna leave this blog article here in the description below, so that you can just follow this here, copy paste here. Now, I would really suggest to do this here on a test server first. You can use something like Headcenter to start the test server for like €4 per month. So it's very, very, very cheap. And I'm not affiliated with them, but I've been using them for like 5 years, and they have never let me down. So they have very, very stable servers, and everything is just working as theirs. So yeah, tell me, what do you think? Is this format interesting for you? And yeah, leave a comment below. What do you do for security? I'll see you around.